Good morning, www.andrewmarkmusic.com. This is going to be a sort of sidestepping into the Golden Rule series. What's going on here is I made the next part last year. This whole series was done last year, and I'm just refining it and getting the grammar right and adding video to it this year. So I did the video last year. I'm not going to redo it. So what I'm going to do here is do a demonstration of the major 7 pattern that I did in one of my last videos. I'll be using the key of F. So the 5 is C7, the 2 is G minor 7. That B flat major 7 stacked in thirds is B flat, D, F, and A. I am tuned down a half step, so you want to get that right. So what I'm going to do in this video is explore all the uses that I can think of with this pattern of major 7 chord within the context of basically jazz harmony. I'll just touch on that next part. I believe it's part 6 of the series, introduces the mafia cabal that controls the earth and indeed has created this matrix from the Gnostic perspective. So I'll link that to this video. So you sort of get a double helping here. Okay, so here's 2-5-1. G, C, F. It helps to be able to learn to do those all over the neck. So on and so forth. So what I'm interested right now is we're going to take this G minor and we're going to find it here, the arpeggio, add a lower third, and there we are. We get this major 7th as a 2. So there it is there. So a 2-5-1. Did there. We have the G minor with a lower third added, which just gives us that major 7th arpeggio. It's E flat major 7th arpeggio. Now we slide down a half a step, so that's called sidestepping, and we get this altered dominant. So we get the C sharp, Charlie Brown. So those are all types of 5 chords with these notes from that thing, and then we sidestep down again. And here it's modal interchange, so I'm using this D flat major 7th as a type of F minor resolving to the F major 7, and it works. You know, it gets this isn't going to really sound like jazz at the moment. It's just a demonstration of this major 7th stacked third pattern. So again, that sounds like this. Okay, so one of the things that you can do is add the 3-6-2-5-1, and that sounds like this. So that's A minor, 6, 2, 5, 1. So if we go up to the 3, we get this, and we'll add the lower third, and we get the F major 7. So now we're sidestepping down, and lo and behold, we get this E major 7, and here's the notes. So that gives you that D7, the flat 9. Okay, so we get the 3, 6, 2, back to the G. So what that looks like using that chord is 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. Okay, so now we can go back in position here, and we get the 2, and here's the arpeggio off the 2. So we get the 2, 5. Okay, so and the last one being that A flat major 7, F minor, which is a type of modal interchange. So that one sounds sort of like this. Of course, we can add the 3, 6, and so on and so forth. I've lost my drums there, so I think that that gives you the basic idea of it, of how to use that sidestepping major 7. So in reality, if we go 3, we could use it chromatically every step of the way, and you know, ultimately you want it to sound like jazz, so you want it to, you know, add passing tones. Things like that. Okay, well, I'll leave it at that. That's a demonstration of the stacked third major 7ths and their uses, potential uses in jazz. I think it opens up just a ton of improvisational possibilities. And this is linked to the Golden Rule series, where I introduced the Cabal, which in my opinion is the Jewish Kabbalists who control civilization. You can see their influence all over London, Paris, Washington D.C., all over the earth, everywhere. Aligned with, and they did this via Freemasonry, which is secular Judaism, Kabbalism, aligned with the takeover of the Roman Catholic Church, which is Jesuit, and aligned with the House of Sod. And we see this alignment fully embraced within, you know, the 9/11 incident. I have a peculiar Gnostic take on it. I believe that all the geometry, all the sacred geometry, all of it is known to the archons because they created it, or they were involved in the creation. Everything about the human body, you know, the 33 degrees of the spine, the physiology of the brain, all of it, they know all of it because they created it, and they use it in their, you know, twisted and warped spirituality, you know. If I'm right, the Elohim view us as slaves, you know. Now, I'll get into in this series whether we're dealing with extraterrestrials. Are extraterrestrials the Elohim of religious lore? Well, you know, I mean, there's certainly a lot of people who believe that. So, it seems to me that we're all suffering from a type of Stockholm syndrome, because we just, I mean, Dr. Richard Carrier posted 24 verses that prove beyond any reasonable doubt in any court of law that the God of the Old Testament is demonstrably evil. And yet, you know, there's this worship of it. It's bizarre, and you know, to me as a Gnostic, that's the only logical explanation. I mean, it explains so much. I mean, for a long time I was really confused about people like Alice Cooper, right? It didn't make any sense to me that Alice Cooper could declare himself a Christian and play the music that he's playing, which is, you know, great music, there's no doubt about that, and that's besides the point. But it created a cognitive dissonance inside of me until I understood Gnosticism, which I started exploring in the mid-90s. So as soon as that light went off, the phenomenon of Alice Cooper made perfect sense to me, you know, and how all religion are machinations of the archons, and how they, why it feels like a prison, because it is a prison. Why they won't implement any just and fair economic and political systems, because they have no intention to, you know. So where does that leave any individual human being? Well, I guess we have to go through the process of, you know, demarcating ourselves from the demiurge's matrix. And whether this turns out to be strictly dualist or non-dual, I think we still have to do it. You still have to get past the demiurge and the archons, you know. The ultimate reality of it all is who knows. I mean, I believe, my own personal belief is that this place is inherently what it is. I can rationalize that by saying what a good parent would do to a psychopathic child. It wouldn't kill it. It would allow it to exist and fence it in. And this is what I believe our condition is here. And this is why this place exists. Whether it will ever be completely annihilated and taken out of existence, I don't know. It's certainly possible. Anyway, that's a bit of a boxing game ramble.